Everybody makes mistakes, even our government. The most important part is the effort that should be put in to make things right. But in certain extreme circumstances, there is no making things right. Some things simply can't be taken back, which includes the taking of a human life. Capital punishment, otherwise known as the death penalty, is such an example of an irreversible sentence that should have no place in the U.S. justice system today. Today, I will be talking about the logical, moral, and financial factors that go into the death penalty. The first point that should be brought up today, in some ways, people believe that there are crimes that are so cruel and wrong that there should be no forgiveness, and that is where they believe the death penalty should come into play. Maybe that is true in some cases, but after you think about it, this is a decision that you make that cannot be taken back. Such as in Texas in 1989, Carlos DeLuca was executed, and then later on there was evidence that got pointed out and he was found not guilty, and then another person was arrested for that actually. So with this being said, this just goes to show some ways that the death penalty can be at fault for some of these things. The first point that we are going to cover today is the logistics. There are actually 27 states in the United States right now where the death penalty is legal. But in those states, Okay, according to the Death Penalty Information Center, the murder rate in the non-death penalty states has remained consistently lower compared to the states where the death penalty is illegal. That might not make sense to some people, but it actually does go to show that the death penalty isn't really affecting the crime rate, or the death penalty is affecting the crime rate. Another point that needs to be brought up is since 1979, there has been 200 people that have been found innocent since being punished to the death penalty. 200 people might not seem like a lot, but that's actually 200 people that could still be alive today and could affect our world in many good ways. The next point is going to be the cost. The cost is actually a big thing for the death penalty, which you might not expect. It is very expensive, and that ranges from $1 to $3 million just to put somebody through the death penalty. In the states, According to the Death Penalty Information Center, the reason it is so expensive is because of the legal costs, the pretrial costs, the jury selection, the trial, the incarceration, and the appeal. In the states where the death penalty is actually legal, in some states, they rise the taxes just to help pay for it. But another thing is in the states, putting somebody through life in prison is actually costs a lot less, with it only costing $907,500. And that might still seem like a lot of money, but it actually does save us a lot in the long run. That is another reason why the death penalty should be illegal. The last point is the morals. The death penalty is for people who commit some of the worst crimes, and that includes taking somebody's life. We punish people for taking people's lives, but in this case, we turn around and we do the same exact thing. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, the word moral is defined as relating to the standards of good or bad behavior, fairness, honesty that each person believes in. We believe that we are doing what is right by bringing the person to justice, but in the end, we're doing the same thing. We punish people for taking somebody's life, but we turn to the death penalty as a solution in a way that isn't sticking to what we hold people's standards to and what we hold our country to. As my speech is coming to an end, and I'm done covering the logical, moral, and financial factors of the death penalty, I hope that everyone has learned and really let it soak in that this solution isn't always what's right and what we need to turn to. So I really hope that you all have learned today that the death penalty isn't always the right solution to some very major crimes.